Hey guys, welcome to the Max. We are out here checking out our greens and about to go get some more fall things started.
This is all greens here. This is collards and turnips and mustards. What do you think? I mean, this looks pretty good right here, doesn't it?
See if we can keep chin off of them. Go up the road, buddy.
So what do you think? This is really your first time to be able to just really come out here and look really good.
Yeah, yes, because I'm usually locked inside.
Look how gorgeous these are. Man.
Yeah, I've only seen one spot that had a little bit of damage.
Right
these
here.
are coming up amazing. Well, it's kind of like that little section right there, but the rest of these look amazing. I mean, it's plenty enough for our family.
Oh my gosh,
They
yeah.
smell so good.
These are turnips here. So.
Yeah, and then the rest of these are starting to come up amazing. We have one really mature row of broccoli and then two more coming up. And they look, I can't help you there, buddy. No, don't do that. You have to stay on here, don't
So you see the
step on
definitive
flowers.
3 rows, and they're just, I mean, it just makes it so much easier just to plant in bunches like we did. So you see here's these other 2 rows.
Yeah, the baby broccoli, the baby ones are starting to come up. All of our broccoli looks really good. I caught some really good. I'm super
Really healthy.
excited. Our broccoli, yes, it looks really good and healthy. I think we had a visitor down here.
Look at this.
As me and Colby said, something nibbled these and something nibbled these.
It looks like deer.
Yeah, it took it all the way to the ground. So
Hey, if that's our only loss, and like I said, if
hopefully it won't come back though.
no, remember, starting tomorrow is deer season here. So this might broccoli and deer for the garden. That's pretty good for winter, huh?
I guess so.
So you saw how good the main garden looks, and man, look how great these sweet potatoes are growing. I can't wait to get in them to see how they've come. But let me show you this. We've got just like we plant in the big garden, we plant our raised gardens to be our next winter bed. This will be our onions, our carrots, our broccoli, or the rest of our broccoli, and our lettuces. Pretty much will all be here. We still have some basil that's finishing up, so we'll have to let those stay until we get seed off of them. And then we've got some potatoes that are just kind of naturally, voluntarily coming up, so we're gonna let them be too. But these beds we're gonna go ahead and plant. These were our tomato beds before they were tomato. If you remember, this was originally broccoli last year, and then potatoes here. But again, then they became tomatoes. Then we put some more compost, and so we're growing on something else here. So our goal, remember, like we always said, we wanna grow 12 months out of the year. So when everything finishes up, we let it rest for a second, put some compost back on it, and let her bump. So you see the basil's finishing up. We've got some peppers and basil finishing up here too. There's the volunteer random potatoes, and we'll leave them, let them be. Right next to the sage, we'll plant the carrots most likely over here too. And then we have 3 more raised beds that are not planted here. So we're gonna go ahead and plant them. Like we do all the rest, we kind of make trenches for everything other than the head lettuce. So we'll kind of show you how we do it and make it real quick too as we plant, because everything we plant in fall and winter is meant to be enjoyable, not too miserable, and it's very small seed, and they tend to grow better when they're very, very close together. So we'll put little holes for the onions, we'll put little holes for the buttercrunch lettuce, for everything else we'll trench and plant. Okay, so we've got them back kind of raked around. Forgot that one there, and those 2 back there are potatoes. Again, trying the fall potatoes if you remember from last video. But these 2, this one, and of course all those over there are ready to be planted. You know, when we let this sit, we always retop with compost. It's not packy at all. I mean, it's just loose. But since we're doing root vegetables, which helps kind of keep it fertile and help keep it loose, we always just take our rake and we just kind of work hard at least about 4 or 5 inches down. And we work it all the way around and then smooth it back out. The whole purpose is to make sure it's not packy underneath, you know, because it sits here and it composts. I mean, this is compost, but if you go down deep and you feel right here, I mean, that's just gorgeous, gorgeous topsoil. Gosh, just absolutely gorgeous. But it can be packy if you don't watch it. So what we do is we just come back in and take our rake and just kind of, not beat, but just kind of make a, you know, furrows all the way through and then rake back. And we do that, and I've already done it on this bed, but I'm showing you what I do. And again, just again to help kind of loosen up, because when we get our carrots go down and our onions, we don't want to make sure, we want them to go deeper than 2 or 3 inches. So we want to make sure that soil is really fertile, like it is, but also loose. Okay, so you see all the holes that we have planted, we've got ready to go. That we just fingered. There's probably 200 or 300 holes there. So we're gonna go ahead and plant the onions about halfway down right here, and then we're gonna go with the carrots right there. Okay, so we're planting the Hoss Tools Denver 126 carrot. I've never planted them. They look cool on the package, so that's why we got them. We've been very pleased with Hoss Tools fall stuff. We've planted fall last year, and their lettuces did phenomenal. Their peppers this year did phenomenal in spring. So why not try the carrots too? So we usually get from in my garden, and they did great last year. I can't complain. Actually, we have a bunch of seed from those we saved, but we were going to try these out and see if they grew even better, because these, we had good carrots, but they were stringier and thinner. These are supposed to be a little bit bigger. So remember, they don't need to be deep at all. They need to be about 1/4 inch deep, and about a 1/2 inch apart from each other. So we plant them really tight here because we know we'll have to weed through them just like we always do. But let's get these covered up. Like I think I'm just gonna kind of do it with my hand. I don't know if I need to do it with a rake, so we're gonna see, because I don't want to hurt the seed. Well, that was easy enough to use my hand. That way it's a little bit more fragile versus using, my rake. So that took me, I mean, like 5 minutes. I love fall gardening because it's just so easy, and raised beds even make it easier. So on this other side, we're gonna go ahead and plant the, let's see, the onions. We're doing another Hoss Tools onion, the Sweet Harvest onion. Now, we normally don't plant onions till around January to February, but we plant the bulbs at that time. So we're gonna plant these a little early. So that way they'll be hopefully by a small bulb stage by January, February. So just trying something new. 2 years ago, our onion harvest was phenomenal. Last year it was just meh, kind of meh. We have a little onion left, and I wasn't pleased with it. So we're gonna try a totally different method on growing these Hoss Tools onions, and see how it goes here too. So let's get these planted the same way. We're gonna do the exact same thing as we did for the carrots. Okay, so we've got this with onions and carrots. Instead of doing this in more carrots and onions, we planted so much there that I was really pleased with that. I'm gonna go ahead and plant some lettuce here. We eat a lot more lettuce and broccoli than we do anything in the winter. So we really need those harvests to come through, and spinach. So we're gonna plant, I mean, again, lettuce, spinach for us, we kind of use it, it's the same thing. We'll cream some of it, pretty much we eat it raw too on salad. So we're gonna use this bed for the start of that, and then we're gonna finish up with broccoli and lettuce in here. So we're gonna hopefully have a great lettuce and broccoli harvest. Lettuce last year was phenomenal. We had it all the way really through March, from really October to March, we had lettuce. We already have, greens growing way over here. But if we could get some more greens like our lettuce is growing, that's really, when we go to Walmart or supermarket, it's really to buy the organic lettuce or organic broccoli more than we buy anything else when it comes to groceries, because we God has blessed us where we provide a lot of our stuff. But that's two of the things we go through a lot of. So we need to get as much lettuce as planted, spinach, and then of course broccoli, and see if we can get a good harvest. Broccoli was again last year, so we're just trying new things, spacing out, starting a little early. Usually we don't start broccoli till, last year we didn't start it until November or December. So we're gonna start it a little early to hopefully have a good harvest. You remember we started some over here. We're gonna start a different variety here. We're gonna start the Hoss Tools Godzilla broccoli, and one more variety that we had over there that's doing really good so far. So we're gonna see, get some lettuce here, which this is gonna be the Butter Crunch here, and then we're gonna do some head lettuce and Butter Crunch over here as well. Okay, this year we're gonna be planting the Galilee spinach. Hadn't tried it. We had a great success with some of the other spinach we had, and we'll plant some of that later in the season. We're going to do progressionary growing. So we'll plant now and then harvest and then plant again in January to have 2 sets of fall and winter garden. So what do you think about this garden season? What do you like about fall or not like about fall?
I usually really like it, but it's a little bit harder this year.
So, thinking about the ideas of the carrots and onions, but really more lettuce and broccoli. What do you think about that? Trying to just do the things that we eat the most.
Because it's what we eat. So I think that's the wisest thing to do. I mean, we did some last year and it really didn't grow. We had so much other stuff that we were babying that did grow. And I mean, you know, I felt like it was almost a waste of time because we really didn't eat it. I mean, we eat it, but not like we do some of the, it's not a whole family favorite item.
This is the Big Boston, Baker Creek Big Boston. We've never grown it, but we've had good luck with all Baker Creek and Hoss Tools lettuce, hadn't we? I mean, we really have. They both have been really good. So
I have a lot of seed that I saved from this past spring that's still inside.
See, this right here, this back lettuce here, Mitt, is your lettuce right here. Your butter crunch that you grew.
Oh, that I saved?
Yeah, so that is ours right there. So.
Oh, I'm glad to see my oregano coming back.
Yeah, it's looking good. The oregano's looking good. The sage. Now, what is this over here, honey? What is this right here? Right next to, I guess
it's
that's
a
lemon basil.
Oh, that?
No, that's lemon basil there, isn't it?
That was a flower I planted for the bees this year. I don't
Well, it's starting to come back, whatever it is.
Poppy seed. Poppy
flower. Poppy plant. Okay, that's right. All right, well, let's get the rest planted. We did trenching here and just went with the lettuce and trenches. Now, this is because this is more of a leaf lettuce. We're going to do the head lettuce, which is going to be the Skyphos and the Coastal, and also the Butter Crunch head lettuce. And we're going to do those in these beds here. And we'll actually use the end here to plant those like we always do with everything else. And then again, we'll plant some more broccoli all through here as well. Last lettuce of the day. The head lettuce, which is the Coastal Star. It's a pelletized lettuce, so it makes it easier to plant in the rows. Gosh, it's so easy to see and plant. So we've got those planted. We're going to close those up, finish up the broccoli, and finish for the day. All right, so name off some of the fertilizers for people who don't know us, what we utilize over the season. So talk about the liquid stuff and also what you're using now. Just what are some of the things we use?
Liquid is going to be your fish emulsions and your liquid kelp, stuff like blood meal, bone meal, stuff like that. But then you also have it basically in dehydrated forms too. And then these bags that we use are basically like granulated, dehydrated food basically that's been broken down and kind of dehydrated into granules.
So what brand are we using right now?
Oh, this is Job's Organics, and like for example, it'll tell you on the back it's feather meal, bone meal, potash, manure, processed poultry manure. So it's basically just
manure. That's how we say it here in the South.
So that's basically just those things dehydrated and put into crystallized or granulated form, and we use that as
so you're feeding it just because we just planted, correct?
Right. And then just, I mean, if you use the soil and you use the soil and you use the soil,
and we do,
I mean, you have to give it back something. So that's basically what we're doing, is giving the soil back. Farmer Joe over here, you messing up Daddy's stuff.
I got to plant the rest of this broccoli on this side, so let me plant this right here. Hey, I think you need to stop. All right, as we finish up the day with the turkeys, we got everything planted that need to be planted. Got the cows behind it. It's actually a pretty sight. We see the turkeys here, the cows, the bull over there, the sheep, pig. From where we're standing, we literally can see just about every aspect of our farm.
They're just so pretty. I love the turkeys and the ducks. They're probably some of my favorite things on the farm.
I love hearing them in the morning. So this big guy right here will be one of the ones we take first. Not him, I'm sorry, yeah, that's him, this one right here. This will probably be our Thanksgiving, and this guy will probably be our Christmas. So we're excited that we get to harvest for Thanksgiving and Christmas this year. And then hopefully we'll have some eggs on them and we'll keep them going. So guys, thank you so much for watching the Max as Mommy Doctor's on JJ. That's a man's. Welcome to South Mississippi.
Hold on, let me see. Hold on.
Happy homesteading, y'all.